If you want to do free motion quilting on the Bernina 560, I would recommend one of these 2 feet, either foot number 9, which is a darning foot, or foot number 24, which is named a freehand embroidery foot, which is really just a fancy name for a darning foot that has a cutout in the front, so you can see where you're going. So that's actually the one that I reach for if I'm not reaching for the Bernina stitch regulator. Now this is an option that you can add to this machine. If you want to see what and how this works, check out our Bernina stitch regulator videos that we are doing on the Bernina 560 also. But if this is not the way you're going, you are doing it more your style, then number 9 or number 24 is your go-to foot. You're going to be on a straight stitch. And let's see here, let's just go back to stitch number 1. I also would recommend, if you are really wanting to get into free motion quilting, is purchase a straight stitch throat plate that has a single hole here. Really helps stabilize your needle and make your stitches turn out even more perfect. Yes, it really does make a difference on this machine. You're going to start by lowering the feed dogs. That's right underneath the place where your power cord for your foot control plugs in. Make sure it goes all the way in and lowers, and when you do see that, you have a little symbol with a line and yellow teeth marks. So when that is not engaged, that is not in. But just make sure you push it in all the way and that it stays indented. That's the key over here. So when you're free motion quilting, your stitch length does not matter. So I could have that all the way up to 5 and, well, it still doesn't matter. Needle position usually just be in the center, especially if you're using a straight stitch throat plate. If you have put this on, then you have also gone into the security area and told the machine that you are using a straight stitch throat plate, and it won't let you move the needle positions left or right. So I might just leave that on for right now because it really doesn't matter. Lower your presser foot. If you want to bring up your bobbin thread, you can take 1 stitch or touch your needle up and down button and pull that thread up. If you used your thread cutter last, that thread will be super, super short, but you can still get to it. I like to bring up my bobbin thread because then, after I get started here, then I can just take these threads and clip them, and I don't have to worry about those coming undone. So the key with free motion is, yes, I know, practice, 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 but if you really want to work on getting the speed of your hands matched to the speed of your machine. Oh, it thinks I'm out of bobbin, but I know I just put that one in there. I bet it's time to clean the machine because there's some lint that is sensing that bobbin sensor to actually come on. The other thing that we want to look at as we do a little testing, maybe do a full circle here. Here we go. And then, oh, yep, definitely having some issues there. So let's talk for that about that for a second. Let's say I don't want that message to come up, and because I probably need to clean it, like I know, is I can go to the settings and turn off my bobbin sensor. So I just have to remember to turn it on. When the bobbin runs out, it's not going to tell me, but what it's going to do is stopping me halfway through every time I take a stitch. So what we're looking for with our stitches is really on the back. So how is the tension? You really want to see the same stitch on the front as you do on the back. And when you see the same stitch, meaning you can't tell what side you stitched from, that's when you're really working well. If you are using the same thread in your needle as you are on the bobbin, you will notice that if it's not just perfect, you don't see it as much. That's a good little tip here, which I do have right now. But let's say we have some bobbin thread coming to the top. Then all you're doing is coming over to your tension and reducing it, coming down to a smaller number. Vice versa, if you have too much top thread coming to the back side, then you're going to take this and go up a number. And remember, go from 4 to 5, for example. Give yourself an actual change so you can actually see what is actually working. And then really all it is, and I'm going to just not pull my bobbin thread up here, is just finding that happy medium speed. You might even like to adjust your speed control, because now, let me floor it. That's my foot all the way down on the floor. You can kind of hear that the machine has a nice controlled speed, and my hands can actually start to wander around and do different patterns. Now, if you are looking for different patterns, click on the below this YouTube video, and I will link to some of my favorite Craftsy classes of machine quilting classes that have really helped me master free motion quilting. So love what Craftsy has done, and now that you know how to set up your machine, now those classes are ready for you to explore the free motion capabilities that you want to do.